up, everyone? Alright, welcome back to another video on the Pointless YouTube channel. And look, here we are with Minecraft gameplay. Haven't used this in a while. It's nostalgic. But we had to pull out the best resources for this video because this one is honestly just insane. Because this weird guy who not only has a TikTok but a YouTube channel thinks that women don't exist and they pretty much should just be murdered. And I just had to make a video on it. It's honestly insane. So, yeah, without further ado, buckle up, boys and girls. This is wild. But before we get into it, if you guys don't mind, go ahead and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers and move all the way up to 1 million and keep going. So, yeah, go ahead, join the army. So we can keep on moving up in the YouTube food chain. But, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Women are the physical manifestation of sensory perception. And in the same sense that when your senses are overloaded in any particular way, whether they're overloaded with pleasure or overloaded with pain, if your senses keep receiving that same stimulus over and over, you are not going to have as strong of a reaction to that same stimulus.
Feels like I'm in health class right now, bro. Chillax. Honestly, stop. Everything he's saying is literal gibberish right now. Like, it's not making any sense whatsoever. When you feel the stimulus when you walk into the room. Like, buddy, listen, we get it. You have this weird obsession with making sure every woman on the planet doesn't exist, but can you at least speak English?
In this same sense, being that women are the physical manifestations of this phenomenon, that is why women's value must be preserved. They can't be trusted to handle anything of greater responsibility, anything of greater importance than daily household chores.
So to put it in simpler terms, what he's trying to say here is, long story short, women are useful for nothing besides cooking sandwiches and doing dishes. Which, listen guys, I know you're all very, very smart, so listen here, alright? We all know that's cap. Like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Just let this sink in. Without women, none of us, I mean none of us, would be here right now. All of you watching this video, me, we wouldn't be alive. We'd be nothing but thoughts. Well, I mean, technically, we wouldn't even be. You get exactly what I'm trying to say here, alright? It would be a whole another different world if that was the case. So to say something like that is pretty bold when you have a mom, you have a grandmother, you have so many women that are in your family, so I don't really get that. Unless this dude is some alien and then, like, his mom and dad are toasters or something.
And taking care of babies. Not taking care of children, taking care of babies. Because once babies turn into children, that's when the psychological development comes into place, which far exceeds the capabilities that women are able to provide for the child. But going back to the value preservation, women's value has to be preserved while a man's value has to be created. Women are born with inherent value, men are born with no value, or next to no value.
What crack are you? Like, seriously, how are men born with no value? What are you talking about? Like, I'm pretty sure we're all valuable, I mean, to the people that have created us. I mean, that doesn't make any sense because you're a male. That doesn't mean you serve absolutely no purpose when you're first born. When we're all born, we know absolutely nothing, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like, can you please speak English? Can you speak non-alien terms?
They're born with the potential for value. That's why when you see a young woman who hasn't done anything with her life, nobody's going to look down on her if she doesn't want to go to college or if she doesn't want to work. Nobody's going to think less of her for not wanting to do those things.
If anything, I think it's the complete opposite. A lot of people look down on people for literally not wanting to go to college and stuff like that. You know, I'm pretty sure it's just a nationwide thing. Like, you're just supposed to go to school. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't know why this guy is trying to bring that into this whole conversation. What you decide to do has nothing to do with me, this guy, anybody, alright? What you want to do, if you want to go pursue this or pursue that, do it, alright? That has nothing to do with me. So the fact that this dude is, like, trying to use that and say, oh, people value women over men and like, it's not giving your point as to why you think women shouldn't exist. That literally makes no sense, bro.
Whereas they definitely will look down on a young man who doesn't want to go to college and doesn't want to work and doesn't want to improve himself. Since women are born with inherent value, it can't actually be increased in the same way that a man's can. Men's value is based on what they've done and the type of person that they've turned themselves into.
Couldn't the same thing be said for a literal woman? I mean, what you turn yourself into is valued no matter what gender you are. Please explain to me who was teaching you this stuff. Like, who sat there and said, yeah, man, this is the right lesson right here. Yeah. You're not making any sense. Like, any gender, any person really wants to turn out successful. It doesn't matter if you're a man or not. If you're a man, I mean, sure, you're supposed to, you know, take care of women. That doesn't mean you're supposed to be more successful than a woman, or a woman is supposed to be more successful than a man. It literally doesn't matter. You're a human and you want to be successful in life. So I'm honestly confused. I don't get your point here, buddy, but let's continue.
What kind of value they've brought into the community in which they're living, or into the larger society. But a woman's value is not based on that. The reason a woman has inherent value is because her value is based on her fertility. To put it bluntly, that's what it's based on. Women's value is based on their fertility. That's why it's in the best interest of a woman not to waste her inherent value and try to lock down a high value man, or a man who looks like he's on his way to becoming high value.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm confused when he's saying become high value. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean a male becoming high value? I mean, that's not the only thing I'm confused on as to what he's saying. Like, this man is not making any sense. Like, nothing he's saying is making sense. Like, you know, a lot of people aren't like this, you know, but this guy's a psycho, all right? I don't like using that word, but this guy's an actual silly
as soon as she can. The more experiences a woman goes through, the less value she has as a woman. And it's not just fertility either, it's also based on her ability to stay with a mate. Children are more likely to survive if the father's in the home. Children grow up much healthier and much happier, and are much more successful later in life when the father is present.
That is so cap. Like, a lot of people actually grow up to be extremely successful without one parent or the other. It literally makes no difference. Also, where's this guy getting these statistics? Like, what is convincing him that this is actual true, that you need both parents, both the mom, dad, to become successful in life? A lot of successful people that I know, or we all know, didn't grow up with a mom or didn't grow up with a dad, so it really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And not just present, but consciously involved in the children's lives. That's why stepfathers don't really do the trick. You can't just inject a male person into a child's life and say, this is your new father now. That's not how psychology works. That's not how human brains work. The child knows it's not their actual father. And before any idiots go, well, I formed a bond with my stepfather, I'm aware that exceptions exist. I would still argue that you're not as close to your stepfather as you would have been to your biological father had you had the chance. But like I said, the more experiences, whether positive or negative, that a woman goes through decreases her value, because women cannot handle the stresses or the pleasures of life. The more stress she goes through, the more she sees.
What is this value scale he has going on through his head? If a woman goes through stress, her value goes down in the market. Like, what is this, sneaker reselling human edition? Like, you have value on a market, and whatever your value is, or if it's higher than the other, you get sold for more money. Like, what? Honestly, that just did not come out right. Or just ignore it.
Sees the world as nothing more than a negative place. And I've mentioned this in a previous video, but it's because women are not able to connect with God in the same way that men are. Women are not able to renew themselves mentally. They see everything on earth through the lens of the material. They see everything on earth through the lens of sensory perception. If something doesn't excite them enough, then it's not a good thing.
Once again, this is something that isn't designated to one gender. There are a lot of dudes who also believe that, you know, material is everything on the world. I mean, everything in the world, you know what I was trying to say. A lot of people believe that just materialistic stuff is the key to happiness. It's not just women, and that's for sure. Like, I know a lot of dudes who believe that, like, materialistic stuff is the key to all their problems. You can't really sit there and pin that on one specific gender as if that really has anything to do with anything at all we've talked about throughout this entire video, because it literally doesn't.
If something stresses them out too much, then it's also not a good thing. Everything has to be new, everything has to be fresh, everything has to be exciting all the time, 100% of the time, otherwise it's bad. That's how women see the world. They don't have an accurate lens of reality through which they see the world. They just don't see reality. They interpret the quality of reality through the type of sensory input they're receiving. That's why girls don't work out. You ever wonder why the vast majority of women don't work out? They are fortunate enough to be born with a nice looking body and then it just wastes away. They don't work out. They could preserve their body a little bit by working out.
This dude definitely went around the corner and asked his plug for some mojo because that's what I think he's on right now. Honestly, bro, you're not making any sense. Like, you're not getting through to me. I'm not understanding how this makes women evil.
But that's why. It's because it hurts. Working out hurts. And since women only interpret the world through sensory perception, anything that hurts is a bad thing. They can't handle it. They literally can't handle working out. That's how strongly this influences their mind. And just as when I was saying earlier, when a woman goes through too many negative experiences, she's not able to renew herself because women are not as connected to God. They're not able to refresh themselves psychologically. They're not able to detach themselves from the material world.
Honestly, I gotta pass the mic over to Tag Swag to talk about some more Gen Z maniacs, because this guy is a prime example of why Gen Z is just not great and why they're doing some hardcore mojo. So make sure to stick to the end, because I'll be right back, and yeah, Tag Swag, take it away.
So yeah, welcome back to the channel, and today I have just lost hope again, and I stumbled upon these TikTokers who decided to do some dumb shit for pranks. And of course, you know, it just makes me lose hope in this generation because it just seems like we are evolving backwards. Since some of the people in Gen Z are really not the brightest, including myself, but you know what? At least I'm not dumb enough to do a prank beating up a baby in public. But yeah, of course, it really only shows that these types of TikTokers are just really desperate for attention. At this point, it's just not shocking at all. It really isn't. But yeah, before we jump into the video today, consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content around here. Turn on that bell, and without further ado, here we go. So now there's this TikToker out there that goes by the name of Prince Z, and recently I was scrolling on my For You page, and then I see this video right here of him beating up a fake baby in public to see how people react.
Stop, man! Shut up! He gotta stop crying, this baby! He gotta stop crying! He needs to shut up, though.
I have daughters, bro.
He needs to shut up.
Okay, I don't give a fuck. I have daughters. You're wilding the fuck out,
needs-
bro. I can
He
punch
needs-
you like
he
that,
needs to
bro.
shut up.
You want me to rock you, bro?
Crying! Stop crying! He needs to stop crying! He needs to stop crying! He needs to stop crying! Shut the fuck up! Just stop crying!
Okay, so I'm struggling to figure out why the hell this was a good idea in the mind of Prince Z, but I guess I will just never figure it out. I guess Prince Z is just too intelligent for me, and I'm just really dumb. I think that's what it is, guys. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I guess this is what TikTokers like to do for pranks now. Some TikTokers will just take shit way too far, and I guess this is just the result. Some people will literally make themselves look like a deranged man in public for clout. Clout is basically like a drug. I've mentioned this so many times on the channel. Like, people will just do the unthinkable for clout, and that includes things like these prank videos. I don't know why they're willing to go that far, but I guess they just are. So this next prank, this guy decided to pour milk and cereal all over himself in a grocery store. Yeah, I don't know where the hell he was going with this one. But yeah, who doesn't love that? Vandalizing a store for a prank. Like, was this really worth it? Like, jumping into a shopping cart half naked and pouring milk and cereal all over yourself. And you're basically gambling whether or not the video hits the TikTok algorithm. Like, you don't know. Half the time, the videos just shit the bed and get like 2 likes. I just don't see why this is worth the risk. You're not even guaranteed likes in the first place. Like, you don't even know if you're gonna get any clout. So I just don't see what is so appealing about these pranks. The poor guy right there on the left has to clean up this mess, unfortunately. Like, imagine being that much of a dick just for some dumb prank. I mean, these workers already got it hard enough, and now you're just making their life 10 times harder. I mean, if I were in the scenario, and if I could choose not do a dumbass TikTok prank or make grocery store workers suffer, yeah, I would definitely choose not do a dumbass TikTok prank. Like, it doesn't really take that much brain power to put the pieces together that you probably shouldn't do a prank like this. But I guess some people on TikTok, they're just built different. These TikTokers just decide to not have any kind of common decency. So yeah, for this next one, I'm just gonna let the clip, if I could actually talk, clip play and see what you guys think about it. I'm not even gonna try describing it. Honestly, this is just a really questionable prank.
I'm here with.
More than your rent.
Hey, you guys look like cows. Can I pour milk on you?
Sure. Come here.
No.
I don't even know what's so funny about this. Like, who the hell's falling out of their chair watching this? I mean, I get that humor is subjective or whatever. I just don't see it. I really don't. And again, I don't know what it is with TikTokers not understanding that if you go into a store, don't be an asshole because it makes the employee's life a lot easier. Like, look at the manager here in this video. Like, I'm sure he's probably having a shitty day, and these TikTokers trying to get like 1,000 likes or something are wasting milk and wasting the employee's time. But yeah, I guess just the nerve of some people. I just don't get it. I'm sure I'm gonna have that one kid in the comment, and he's probably gonna be like, dude, bro, you're such a Karen, dude. Just let them do the prank. And what I have to say to that is, well, I don't think it's that hard to just not be a dick. I don't think it's that difficult, is it? I mean, by doing something like that, you're technically being a dick. You're not pulling some prank that's gonna make the person who is being pranked laugh. Like, I thought that was the whole point of a prank. But yeah, I guess I just don't know. Maybe I'm just missing out on these amazing new pranks. So yeah, here's another guy that gets like 2 gallons of milk, doesn't pay for them, and then just throws them on the ground on purpose. What a great prank, guys. Am I right? I don't know. I thought pranks were supposed to have a punchline last time I checked, but I guess now in 2021 they don't. It could just be the most random shit, even if it's just being an asshole. And I'm pretty sure the guy on the account only got like 300 likes. Was it really worth 300 likes to throw 2 gallons of milk in the air and have them explode just to make somebody who already hates their life enough on aisle 3 clean it up? And I mean, I've been in the position before, so I know what it's like. So I wouldn't do that to somebody, but I guess these TikTokers just don't know what it's like to work a real job, so they just treat people like shit. I think that's what they do. So I'm not even gonna explain this one. It's just this dude that just wants to make himself look like he's deranged with a gallon of milk in his hand. I'm just gonna let the clip roll.
That's what you talking about, crowd! All day long! Bitch! Fucking talking about!
Alright, thank you to X-Pac for hopping on the video, but yeah, if you've watched all the way up to this point, comment W right now. I want to see W's again. Alright, thank you guys for the support on the channel. It's been great. We just got verified on YouTube for hitting 100,000 subscribers, and soon I'll have the YouTube plaque. It's just gonna take a bit because, you know, YouTube has to mail it out and whatnot. But yeah, thank you all. I love you all so much. This has been great so far. We're gonna hit 500K, alright, very, very soon. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me stop. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Love you all.